I've been obsessed with this card ever since the first time that I visited Japan. Or more specifically, one of any of these cards. But for this video, I'm going to go with this one, the Icoca card. It's the transit pass for my favorite Japanese city, Osaka. Icoca, which means, let's get going. Icoca and its more famous Tokyo cousin, Suica, are what are known in Japan as IC cards, contactless payment cards issued by public transportation authorities. But what makes this card special isn't its branding or even the metro that it's associated with. What makes this card special is the near universalism of its uses. From a metro in Osaka to a convenience store on this rural island in Ehime Prefecture. The idea of this card opens up a lot of opportunities, and let me tell you why. On its surface, the Icoca card doesn't seem too different from this Orca card from Seattle, or even this Libertin card from Nantes, where these cards are all limited to public transportation in one region. My Icoca card that I bought in Osaka can be used on the Osaka Metro, the Tokyo Metro, the Matsuyama streetcar, even rural local trains. Pretty much any transit system in the country. In fact, the only place that I wasn't able to use my Icoca was on the Japan Rail Shikoku trains, which is the smallest of Japan's main islands. Still, the ability to use my local transit pass almost anywhere in Japan, in my mind, isn't the most remarkable thing about it. Don't get me wrong, that idea in itself could be revolutionary for people in the US or in France or really any country around the world. Imagine you just need the one card wherever you go. Here in France, people commute from all over the country into Paris every single day. Imagine if you could pay for a local tram journey from your home in Nantes to the train station, hop on a TGV to Paris, and use your Libertin card to pay for your metro trip from Montparnasse to wherever you work. That would be incredible, right? But this little Icoca card can do a lot more than just that. I can use it to pay for groceries or for a night out at karaoke, to buy a new kitchen appliance, or to get a drink on the go. In Japan, IC cards are replacing cash payments in a society that still uses cash on a daily basis. But what if you live mostly in a cashless society, like the United States or France? Why not just use a debit or credit card? Well, let's think about it in a slightly different way. The way that Japan uses IC cards is so different than anywhere I've ever traveled. As a visitor to Japan, having one simplifies so many situations. And there's the obvious. I've linked this card to an account to purchase high-speed rail tickets online, so nearly every form of public transportation, even taxis, is at my fingertips. That's a huge benefit to people landing somewhere, jet lag, trying to get their bearings. If you got all of your public transportation tied to just one card, plus your food, plus your groceries, and even money that you can use for purchasing any number of daily essentials. What a huge way to remove friction for visitors coming to France, for example. Imagine being one of the 100 million people that traveled to France in 2024. You touch down at Charles de Gaulle Airport, you're jet lagged, you're stiff, you're ready to just get into the city. And you head straight to grab a train into Paris. There, you can buy a Navigo card, add money to it, maybe buy a day pass if you're going to explore Paris for a while. Job done. No need to worry about daily foreign transaction fees or frequent ATM visits. Maybe you just want to know exactly how much money you're spending when you're abroad and you don't want to have to do the math in your head. Beyond that, imagine using that Navigo to travel across the country. You can hop on a train and go to Nantes, use it in the trams in Nantes, the metro in Toulouse. You can eat a crêpe in Rennes. You can buy groceries in Bordeaux. You can replace an electric toothbrush in Marseille. And if you're just another schmo that lives here, it would still be nice to know that you can use your Libertin card, for example, anywhere you go, which touches on what I think is the real hidden power of how Japan uses these IC cards. Sure, they're convenient for commuters or tourists, for getting around town, or picking up life's essentials. But this idea could be adapted within the spectrum of a social justice lens. So I remember the cafe down the street from the house that I lived at last in Seattle. I remember when they went completely cashless. For many people, myself included, no big deal, right? It's just another way to pay. You don't have to worry about having cash. Most people have a debit card or a credit card or whatever that they can use. No big deal, no fuss. But this place was just another in a myriad of places in Seattle that had made this choice to go completely cashless. Seattle even has those invasive yet annoyingly convenient Amazon corner stores that use some magic and some other tech stuff that make it easy to just pick up an item and walk out the store. No need to tap a thing in your pocket. You can just walk out. And of course, allow mega corporations to know about all of your movements. But what happens if you rely on cash and you don't have a bank account? You may be surprised, but according to the Federal Reserve, about 6% of Americans didn't have a bank account in 2024. That's nearly 15 million people. And if you look at the proportion of people earning $25,000 and less, that number skyrockets to 22%. So potentially one of those baristas working in that cafe couldn't even buy a coffee at the place that they worked. As an unbanked individual, they would be more likely to rely on check cashing services or money orders to have to pay for a lot of different things. They'd also probably carry a lot of cash. Now imagine being able to go to a machine at a nearby bus stop or a light rail station and loading cash onto this card, reserving the rest of the money that you can set aside to pay for rent and utilities the way that you normally would through a money order. Then using this card to buy groceries, a toaster, or even going out with your friends. Maybe getting a cup of coffee, and I don't know, maybe even riding the bus. Having that option can reduce the risk associated with holding onto all of that cash, and it can reopen many of the places that were effectively closed to people when they decided to go cashless. And look, this isn't one of those, oh my god, Japan is living in the future kind of videos. I'm not even advocating for a one-to-one export of the IC card system or some carbon copy of all the policies. What I am saying, though, is that the idea of turning your public transportation pass into an everything card could have benefits that I don't even think they have in Japan yet. Benefits that match the situation of your city or your country. And the great thing about policy is that it's really more of an art, right? It's up to interpretation. It's based on the needs of the population around you. So who knows? Maybe your hometown could adopt one of these ideas or even something better. My question is, why not try?